Hello and welcome to this video. This is the second lecture of the Mies Memorial Library Competition by Arquitecturo. And today we're going to be looking a little bit more into Mies' personal life, paying special attention to his relationship with Lilly Reich and the work that they did together. Mies married Adele Auguste in 1930, when he was 27 years old. At that point, you could say that his personal life was following what society saw as correct for a young man in the early 20th century. The same way that he was still designing more traditional architecture, as we saw in the previous lecture. His marriage to Adele wasn't a successful one in any way. And even though they had 3 daughters together, the couple separated only 5 years after getting married. Their marriage overlapped almost entirely with the development of World War I, so the couple didn't have it easy either, with Mies having to leave their home in order to serve Germany for at least a year during that period. That distance was probably the last thing that an already complicated marriage needed, and when the war ended, Mies also ended the marriage in order to focus on his architecture studio in Berlin. Mies never remarried after Adele, and as he became more confident in his vision towards architecture, he showed little interest in building a family in the traditional sense of the word. From there on, it seems like he was only interested in women that shared his professional interest, or that were at least in a related field. He might have been involved with other women, but after his marriage, his personal life is mostly related, and never in a formal or official way, to Lilly Reich before he moved to the US, and to artist Lola Marx from just a few years after moving to America until his death. Rumor has it that he might have also had a brief romantic relationship with sculptor and art collector Mary Calais, for whom he designed an artist studio in Long Island, New York. And even with Edith Farnsworth, whom commissioned Mies to design the famous Farnsworth house, and who ended up suing him when the house was finished. Allegedly, Dr. Farnsworth thought that the house that she got wasn't what she asked for. But some critics think that this might have just been a cry for attention in order to bring Mies back into her life once their professional relationship ended. Anyway, what this comes to show is that architecture can be a very intensive and very immersive profession. More than just a mere job to pay the bills. For those who architecture becomes a passion, it can sometimes be hard to balance the personal and the professional. And that's probably why so many influential architects often have very turbulent personal lives. And those who manage to have a successful long-term relationships have them with other architects, such as the case of Charles and Ray Eames or Peter and Alison Smithson. And that's probably the kind of relationship that Mies and Lilly had between 1925 and 1938. And that they would have probably maintained hadn't Mies decided to move to the US after World War II. Lilly was a professional independent woman. She had her own studio in Frankfurt and had managed to achieve international recognition thanks to her textile designs, interior design, and also as a curator. In 1921 and 1922, she organized 2 separate exhibitions at the Newark Museum in New Jersey. The first dedicated to showcasing women's clothing, seeking to promote the revival of German fashion. And the second one showcasing more than 1,600 objects meant to show the Americans the quality of the German industrial design. So when Lilly met Mies, she was already successful. And that's probably one of the things that caught Mies' eye. The fact that she was someone with whom he could discuss design and architecture, things that were on his mind all the time. What started as a professional relationship quickly turned into something more. And in 1926, Lilly moved from Frankfurt to Berlin in order to work with Mies. They both kept separate studios, but collaborated often. And here is where the controversy begins. The duo collaborated in over 25 projects between 1925 and 1938, most of which are straight up attributed to Mies, with very little to no credit given to Lilly. This is unfair and should be corrected. But it also doesn't mean that Lilly was behind all aspects of design and Mies was just signing them off. They were both very good at different things. And when they came together, they managed to combine those skills to really disrupt the fields of architecture and design, which so often are one and the same. As Albert Pfeiffer, Vice President of Design and Management at Knoll, once said, "It is not just a coincidence that Mies' involvement and success in exhibition design began at the same time as his personal relationship with Lilly, and that he did not successfully develop any contemporary furniture before or after his collaboration with Reich." But at the same time, it is not a coincidence that Lilly didn't develop any architectural projects before or after her time with Mies. What each of them brought to the mix seems clear today, as does the fact that they both played a crucial role in the success of projects such as the Barcelona Pavilion or the Tugendhat House. The problem remains in the history books, which for decades treated Lilly's contributions to those projects as less than Mies's. In modern real estate, it is well known that staging a house is key to how people will perceive it. The proportions of the spaces might be perfect, and the layout a straight-up masterpiece, but that space will only come alive to the general public once equally good care is put into the furniture and decoration of those spaces. And that is exactly what Lilly did for Mies. She dressed up his architecture in a way that made it appealing to the general public, which was super important for Mies to be able to sell his architecture. The world is full of misunderstood geniuses, and Lilly made sure that Mies' work was understood. Can you imagine the Barcelona Pavilion without the red velvet curtain or the Barcelona chair? No, you can't. It wouldn't be the same building. Architecture and design became one and the same and are equally important. When two people live and work together, it can be hard to tell exactly who came up with which idea or who is responsible for each aspect of a project. In those kind of relationships, you share constant feedback about everything. And even if Lilly didn't draw a single floor plan, or Mies didn't design a single chair, which by the way, they might have, the truth is, those projects would not have existed if they hadn't been both involved in the mix. Mies owes a whole lot to Lilly when it comes to the launch of his career. And it isn't clear why he flew to Nazi Germany by himself, or why Lilly visited him in Chicago in 1939, but then returned to Germany. Whatever the reasons, it is important to understand that they both complemented each other professionally for over a decade, and that their separation very well might have been due to personal reasons and not any kind of rivalry. History should make amends with the legacy of Lilly Reich. And we hope this video inspires you to always look up as much information as you can on any given subject. It is true that history is always written by the winners or the most powerful. But the more sources you get your information from, the better chance you'll have of getting closer to what really happened. Stay tuned for our next lecture. Bye!